Hi guys, today in class we're going to subtract mixed numbers. But today I'd like to draw your attention to a very important activity that helps us subtract mixed numbers. Of course you can say, well, what's the big deal? We've already learned to subtract them, but let's look at special cases of subtracting mixed numbers. So, I'm looking at the following example, 7.1/5 minus 3/4. Okay guys, we're looking at mixed numbers, or say mixed fractional numbers. We need to subtract, and you and I know very well that we need to pay attention to the denominators. The denominators here are different, and we can easily find the common denominator. Let's write down that the least common multiple of 5 and 4 is the number 20. Why 20? Because 20 is divisible by 5 and 20 is divisible by 4. Try to get to that number on your own. So the least common multiple is the number 20. Then we write down the additional multiplier. 20 divided by 5, it will be 4, and 20 divided by 4, it will be 5. The result is what fractional numbers? 7.4 20s minus 3.5 20s. Well, there is nothing unusual here at first glance, because we need to subtract the mixed number from the fractional number, or rather from the mixed number. Our denominators are the same, everything is fine, but let's remember our algorithm. What do we have to do? We have to subtract 3 from 7, and then from 4 20s, and then subtract 5 20s. But notice from 7 we subtract 3. That's fine, that's fine, that's fine. But we can't subtract 5 20s from 4 20s. So there's something wrong here. We can't perform the action here. What should we do in this case? We go back. That is wrong. We go back to our example. So 7.4 20ths minus 3.5 20ths. What do we do in this case? Let's remember the problem we had. We couldn't subtract the numerator of the first fraction from the numerator of the second fraction. Why? Because it was smaller than the numerator of the second fraction. What do we do in this case? Let's take away one whole part from the 7. So I'll write it down separately. 7.4 20ths. I'm going to write it down a little bit differently. What did I do? Notice I'm taking one whole part away from the 7. What's left? That leaves 6, right? That leaves one whole part. How do I write it down? Well, the thing is, if we add 4 to 20, we get 24. 20ths. So I wrote down 7.4 20s as 6.24 20s. Why did I do that? I took away one whole fraction here. If you don't believe me, let's convert this to an improper fraction and see if we got the same fractional numbers or not. So 7 I multiply by 20, that would be 140, and plus 4. That would be 144 20ths. What if, guys, I convert this mixed number to an improper fraction? 6 times 20 would be 120, and 120 plus 24 would be 144 20ths. That is, we got the same fractional numbers, so we did it right. Note that fractional numbers allow us to write a number with a different denominator. We have already encountered this in some other form, but the result is the same value. So 7 whole 4/20s. I'll write it down as 6 whole 24/20s. So 6 whole 24/20s minus 3 whole 5/20s. What is the result? I can subtract 3 from 6 with ease, and from 24. 20s, I can take 5 20s. Well, now that's great. Our problem is solved. Subtract 6 minus 3, that's 3, and 24 minus the same denominator, fix it, 24 minus 5, that's 19/20. And that will be our answer. So let's pay attention to what we've done with you. Now, there was a mixed number of 7.4/20. I can take away from that whole number as many whole parts as I want, but I only need one whole part. So from the 7, I take one whole part. That would be 6 whole parts. Well, now I add 4 to 20, that's 24/20. So we need to take one step to get it right. So, guys, 7.4/20s, we've represented 6.24/20s. Let me explain to you again why this happens. Okay. 7.4/20s. What did I do to get a mixed number like that? I told you that I take one whole part out of 7, that is 7. This 7, I write it down as 6 plus 1, right? And plus 4/20s. Now I'm going to write down this one right here as 20. 20s. Why 20/20? Well, because I need that denominator. Because I need a denominator of 20. So 6 plus 20/20, that's 1, and plus 4/20s. The result is 6 whole 24/20s. This is how we can write a mixed number in a different way. It's the same thing, just written in a different way. We'll look at a couple more examples like this in the next lesson. And that's all for today. Goodbye. See you again.